Jey Uso sends a cryptic message ahead of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa's match at Night of Champions. Real reason why Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will lose at WWE Night of Champions. Rhodes takes a shot at AEW. Backstage update on how long Liv Morgan is expected to be sidelined from WWE, Seth Rollins, or Roman Reigns, who will kick off WWE Night of Champions, and more. Let's jump right into it. Real reason why Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will lose at WWE Night of Champions. Roman Reigns has a major match scheduled for WWE Night of Champions 2023. The undisputed world champion and WrestleMania main eventer will attempt to capture the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles. The Tribal Chief will be joined by the enforcer of the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa has been a dominant force since joining the main roster last year, with his only pinfall loss coming courtesy of Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are two incredible wrestlers, but many believe that their time as the tag team champions are coming to an end come the show in Saudi Arabia. Roman and Solo both appear unstoppable, but are they truly unbeatable? This piece will look at a handful of reasons why Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will fail to capture the unified Raw and SmackDown tag team titles at Night of Champions in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Number 5. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have far more tag team experience. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are blood relatives, and there's something to be said about that bond. With that being said, it has been well established that the two weren't close, hence why Sikoa was cast off onto the streets away from his family prior to joining WWE. Meanwhile, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been as thick as thieves for 2 decades now. Sure, they often fight and feud, but they've been a tag team off and on for decades. That level of experience is hard to match. Solo and Roman were flat out told by Sami that they can't win because they're not good enough. While it could be easy to overlook that as false bravado, Sami is right. The experience of the two Canadians is a major sign that they'll walk out as the champion. Number 4. Roman Reigns is already the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Perhaps the biggest sign pointing to Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa losing at Night of Champions 2023 is the fact that the Tribal Chief already holds 2 belts. He is the reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Reigns first won the Universal Championship back in 2020 at the Payback Premium Live event. He then defeated Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 38. Given his responsibility as a world champion, it would be extremely unlikely for the head of the table to walk around with 2 more belts. Number 3. Dissension was teased between Reigns and Solo Sikoa. The potential issues in a Roman Reigns Solo Sikoa tag team don't just come down to a lack of experience. WWE have had many first-time tag teams or short-term duos find instant chemistry and success. There's an odd tension bubbling underneath the surface between the enforcer of the Bloodline and the Tribal Chief. This was evident on a recent episode of WWE SmackDown when the two had a brief stare down after bumping into each other. While Roman apologized and quickly left, Solo showed an attitude that Reigns likely didn't expect. Their subtle issues are likely a major sign that they won't win at the big show. Number 2. Roman Reigns is a part-time worker. While Roman Reigns is an impressive athlete and champion, he also benefits from not working as regularly as most on the roster. The Tribal Chief rarely works live events, misses a lot of weekly television tapings, and even misses occasional premium live events. Given that he's part-time, a tag team title win wouldn't be practical. This, combined with the prior point about holding 2 titles already, would make it improbable for the Tribal Chief to win the tag team titles while not being able to defend them. This indicates a loss on the horizon. Number 1. The Usos may not help Roman win, or could even cost him the match. While there's certainly some tension between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, there are far bigger issues between the Tribal Chief and the Usos. In fact, Roman has even told Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso not to attend WWE Night of Champions. With that being said, the two aren't always the best at following his orders. They attacked Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens last week without being directed to do so. They then came out to address the tag team champions this week, seemingly without Roman's approval. Given the verbal lashings the Tribal Chief has laid on the former WWE tag team champions, the two standing up for themselves feels inevitable. If they do go to Night of Champions, it may cost Roman the win. Rhodes takes a shot at AEW. Despite suffering from a broken hand in kayfabe, Cody Rhodes will be in action at Night of Champions. Ahead of the show, he addressed the WWE Universe in Saudi Arabia at the media conference. Rhodes received a massive reaction from the fans in Saudi, to which Rhodes has reacted by seemingly taking a shot at AEW. During his time at AEW, the American Nightmare often received adverse reactions from fans. Taking to Twitter, Brandy sent a message aimed at the people claiming that her husband was better off staying in AEW. She further asked fans to move on from the same subject, and some people still say he should have stayed where he was. Maybe we should let that one go for now, wrote Brandy. Cody eventually departed the company he helped start to make a grand return to WWE. Ever since his return, he has transitioned into one of the biggest babyfaces in all of professional wrestling. The veteran superstar even went on to headline WrestleMania 39 against Roman Reigns. He currently finds himself in a feud against Brock Lesnar, whom he will face in a rematch from Backlash. Jake the Snake Roberts is still still rooting for Cody Rhodes to win the world title in WWE. Speaking on his The Snake Pit podcast, Roberts said that he wants to see Rhodes hold the world championship for a long period of time. He said, "I wish the best for him. I really do. I hope he goes all the way. I hope he becomes a champion and holds the title for a long period of time. It's just a question of what the folks up there want." But first, Rhodes would have to get past the Beast Incarnate for the second time in 2 consecutive premium live events. Are you enjoying Cody Rhodes' feud with Brock Lesnar? Sound off in the comments section. Backstage update on how long Liv Morgan is expected to be sidelined from WWE. Liv Morgan is expected to be out throughout the summer as she recovers from a shoulder injury. Morgan reportedly suffered a torn rotator cuff in her left shoulder during a match against Damage Control on the May 12th episode of WWE SmackDown. Dakota Kai also suffered a knee injury during the match and already underwent surgery to repair the torn ACL. Meanwhile, Morgan could also go under the knife, which means she could be sidelined for at least 6 months. WWE has not confirmed if she requires surgery, but are preparing for her absence. Raquel Rodriguez found Shotzi Blackheart to replace her in the Fatal 4-Way match on May 28 to determine the new WWE Tag Team Champion. According to Fightful Select's Scene Ross Sapp / Ringside News, WWE doesn't expect Morgan to be back until after the summer. It means she'll be out until at least September, while Kai will be on the sidelines longer since a torn ACL usually heals after 9 months. Insider reported that Liv Morgan suffered the injury during a commercial break and was made worse by a top rope spot. WWE initially believed that the injury was minor since they were forced to relinquish the WWE Tag Team Championships immediately. Liv Morgan has started taking projects outside WWE, landing a guest role as herself on the TV show Chucky last year. Morgan is also slated to appear in the movie The Kill Room starring Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson. The former SmackDown Women's Champion, alongside Charlotte Flair, was also cast to star as Clara Mortensen and June Byers, respectively, in a movie based on Mildred Burke's life. However, it seems like the injury has put her status for the movie up in the air since it could require her to take bumps in the ring. Burke, Mortensen, and Byers are all famous professional wrestlers from the 1930s to 1950s. Morgan has been a workhorse for WWE over the past year before her injury. She and Raquel Rodriguez had a goal to be fighting champion, but the unfortunate situation put all things on hold. If Liv Morgan returns from her injury, do you want her to be part of tag team or as a single star? Give your thoughts in the comments section below. Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, who will kick off WWE Night of Champions? WWE announced this past Monday on Raw that Night of Champions will feature a triple main event. This means that the top 3 matches on the card will be placed throughout the show. Paul Heyman also revealed the main event of the premium live event during the same show. According to 0 the World Heavyweight Championship Tournament final between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles will kick off Night of Champions. The report further stated that the match order is subject to change. Seth Rollins earned his place in the final by beating Finn Balor a couple of weeks ago on the May 8, 2023 episode of Raw. AJ Styles bested Bobby Lashley the same week on SmackDown. It is worth mentioning that the Visionary took a break from in-ring competition to shoot for his role in Captain America 4. Word on the internet is that the new World Heavyweight Champion will be recognized as the successor to Randy Orton. The Viper was the last superstar to hold the title in 2013 before it was unified with the WWE Championship. The 14-time world champion could make a surprise return at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. Orton has not appeared on WWE television in nearly a year. His last appearance transpired on the May 20, 2022 episode of SmackDown. The main event this Saturday will see Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. The champions and the challengers came face-to-face on the Kevin Owens show this week on SmackDown. Owens and Zayn turned the Bloodline's mind games on them. The entire segment dropped plenty of teasers in regards to the outcome of the tag team title bout. The show ended with Reigns and his group standing tall. It remains to be seen which team will get their hands raised this Saturday. What's your take on this story? Let us know in the comments section below. WWE Universe left speechless. On the final episode of WWE SmackDown before Night of Champions, Jey Uso left the WWE Universe and his fellow Bloodline members shocked. This is because he called himself the Tribal Chief, a title used specifically for Roman Reigns. On WWE SmackDown, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were scheduled to host Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa on the Kevin Owens show. The tag team champions invited the challengers to the ring, but only Paul Heyman came out and explained that the Tribal Chief makes an appearance when he wants and not when he is asked to do so. To Heyman's dismay, the Usos interrupted his introduction of Roman Reigns. The Usos got into the ring to confront Owens and Zayn, but the tag team champions got into their head, saying that they don't do anything unless Roman Reigns tells them to. Jey Uso had heard enough when Kevin Owens called him and his brother Roman Reigns errand boy. He took the mic, called them the greatest tag team in the world, and proclaimed himself as the Tribal Chief. Since his controversial line, the WWE Universe couldn't believe what happened. Many fans have taken to Twitter to share their thoughts about Jey Uso calling himself the Tribal Chief. Over the past few weeks, Jey Uso doesn't seem excited to be a part of the bloodline. Since Paul Heyman announced that Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa would contest for the tag team titles at Night of Champions, the Usos have been disgruntled. Many members of the WWE Universe believe that the bloodline is collapsing and that the tribal chief and his special counsel is trying to hold on to it with thin threads. There have been many signs of implosion happening in the past, but this looks like the last straw for the former tag team champion. The fact that he didn't celebrate with his family before WWE SmackDown went off the air strongly suggests that he is unhappy about his place in the stable. Fans speculate that the end of faction is written in the cards for Night of Champions, but we will have to wait and see how things unfold. Who do you think is the tribal chief? Let us know in the comments section below. Jey Uso sends a cryptic message ahead of Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa's match at Night of Champions. Jey Uso took to social media to send a cryptic message ahead of the Night of Champions premium live event. At the show, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa will challenge for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in the hope of bringing the titles back to the bloodline. The tag team titles were previously held by the Usos. However, Reigns was disappointed with his cousins after they lost to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Taking to Instagram, Jey sent out a 3-word message. "Be fearless, Main," wrote Jey Uso. Roman Reigns could soon make major decisions within the bloodline as he could finally boot the Usos out of the faction. At least that's what Bill Apter is predicting. Speaking on the Wrestling Time Machine alongside a former SmackDown general manager Teddy Long and co-host Mac Davis, Apter discussed the possibility of the Usos leaving the top WWE faction. Apter noted how Reigns has been upset at the whole situation surrounding Jimmy and Jey. He said, "We don't know that because Roman Reigns, even though he's on SmackDown, his storyline is him being very upset at the whole situation here. It could be a split from the Usos as well." Upon Reigns' return to WWE television, he forced the Usos to apologize to him and even confronted Jimmy Uso. WWE teased further tension between both parties and showcased a tense situation between Reigns and Solo Sikoa. But for now, the tribal chief will have to put all of that in his rearview mirror and focus on winning the undisputed tag team titles at Night of Champions. Do you think Jey Uso is plotting something major ahead of Night of Champions? Sound off in the comment section.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for